Hello. So I know it's not the end of the year yet, but everybody is doing their best books of 2014 videos, so I thought I would do mine today as well. So I have a few books to show you that I read in this year, and that I really enjoyed, and I would like to recommend to you. Um, so I didn't really read that much in 2014 as I did in 2013. Like in 2013, I probably read about 35 books, which for me is quite a lot. I know there's a lot of people on YouTube who read way more books. Um, but yeah, I read quite a few this year, maybe about 20, 25, which I was quite pleased with, to be fair. Yeah, so I'm going to show you the ones that I liked best this year, and then I will do a video later on about my books I'm looking forward to next year. So let's get on with it. The first book on my list is Black Ice by Becca Fitzpatrick. First of all, I adore this cover, the UK cover. I think it's lovely, and it's got that buttery, glossy feel. It's really nice. Yeah, and I really enjoyed this book. It's about two friends who, instead of joining their friends in Hawaii for spring break, they decide to go hiking in the mountains, and then they are taken in by these two men who seem quite nice, and then things go wrong and they get kidnapped and they have to make it off the mountain. There's Stockholm Syndrome involved, which I wasn't sure about reading about because I've watched programs about Stockholm Syndrome and I thought that is a weird thing. Stockholm Syndrome is really weird. So I wasn't really sure about reading this, but I read it and I loved it, and I gave it a 4 or 4.5 out of 5 stars. And yeah, it was really good. I don't know if there's going to be a sequel, but if there is, I really would like to read it because it was a very good book. Yeah, so it's the first book on my list, Becca Fitzpatrick's Black Ice. Very good book. Okay, the next book on my list is one that I read when it came out. I'm not sure when in the year it came out, but it was quite early on. And that is The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings, with the cool barcode on the edges of the pages. Yeah, this is a really good book. It's about a girl who's trained to be an assassin, and then she falls in love with this boy, and yeah, I kind of forget some of the story because I read it so early on in the year. But I just remember that it was a really good book, and I was so excited for the sequel. And the sequel is called The Death Code, and it comes out very soon. And it's blue, and I think it's what's the boy's name? The girl is called. Oh wow, I've completely forgotten what the girl's called. Oh yeah, the girl's called Meadow. And the boy is called Zephyr, that's it. So the second book, I think the cover has Zephyr on it and it's blue. And yeah, I'm really excited to read it. But yeah, this is a very good book. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. Next book on my list is In the Shadows by Kirsten White and Jim DiBartolo. This book is absolutely beautiful. I mean, when you take off the dust, you can't see it because the light is rubbish. When you take it off, it has like this indented design on here, and it's lovely. And yeah, this book is just great. Like, I've never read Kirsten White before, so it took me a little while to get used to the writing style because it's very poetic and whimsical. But I thought it was a brilliant book, and apart from the story, which is very good, it has the most amazing artwork in it. It's absolutely beautiful. Like, really good artwork. And yeah, it's a very good book. I gave this one 4 out of 5. The next book, I could not include this, is Hollow City by Ransom Riggs. Obviously, the second book in the Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children series. Yeah, and this just, obviously, Ransom Riggs to me is a god. He's a genius. And this book was no exception. It's a brilliant book, absolutely amazing. and I can't wait for the third one. I have no idea when it comes out, but I need it. Next book on my list, there was a lot of hype, and there was also a lot of bad press around, not necessarily the book, but the company. But that's Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page. There was controversy about, what was it called? Full Fathom 5, which is the publishing company who published this book. Basically, the owner of the company, James Frey, wrote a book called A Million Pieces, or A Million Little Pieces, which was supposed to be about his life, but it turned out that it wasn't about him, or something like that, and there was a lot of controversy over that. But for me, that didn't really take away from how good this book was. It was absolutely brilliant, and people were saying that it was the book was James Frey's idea, not Danielle Page's idea. But either way, it's a brilliant book, and I'm not going to take away the fact that the story is just amazing, and the design of the book is beautiful as well. That's Under the Dust Jacket, and yeah, it's just a brilliant book. Very good book. And yeah, I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars, and I can't wait for Wicked Will Rise, which comes out in January. The next book on my list is Heaven by Christoph Marzi, and this is an absolutely amazing book. I mean, it's 400 and something pages, so it is a big book, but it's so good. It's about this girl called Heaven, and this guy called, what's his name? David, comes across this girl called Heaven on a rooftop one night, and she says that her heart's been cut out by bad men, and now bad men are after her. And yeah, I mean, it took me a little while to get into this book, maybe after the third or fourth chapter, but after that it was just amazing, absolutely amazing. It's such a good book, and I recommend this to everyone. Absolutely brilliant. And this is a 5 out of 5 star book for me as well. And then the next book I have on my list, well, there's 3 of them, and it's the Nick and Tesla series by Science Bob Fluckfelder and Steve Hockensmith. I have only the second, third, and fourth book. I haven't got or read the first book yet, and I haven't read this yet, but I know that I'm going to love this. Yeah, and it's about this twins called Nick and Tesla, and their parents are away on business or something, and they try and solve all these crimes with like gadgets and stuff, and it's middle grade. There's pictures and stuff in there. I just think it's brilliant, and I recommend these to everyone. I think an overall rating for these books I would give maybe overall 4 stars. Next book on my best of 2014 list is Boy Nobody by Alan Zadoff, and it has orange pages. This has been republished with a new title and a new book design. It's called The Hit, I think, the first one. Well, I really want to get the second one and read it, but I think this cover's the best cover. It's just amazing. And yeah, this book is really good. I think it's first person it's written in. It says like you and all that sort of kind of thing. I look at Sam's photo, there's something familiar about her. It's all written in like as if you were telling the story, as if this is your story, and it works really well with this book, and it's a very good book. It's like, when I reviewed it, I recommended it to people who like James Bond. It's like a young Bond, and yeah, it's just really good. And I've heard there's going to be a movie, so I'm excited because this book is really good, so the movie should be just as good. Okay, 2 more books. The next book on my list is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This book is just beautiful. I mean, it's under 300 pages, but the story inside is just absolutely gorgeous. It's about a boy, Connor, who gets visited by this monster, and when this monster visits him, he gets transported to this other world where he can see things happening. And yeah, it's basically just how Connor deals with growing up and bullying and stuff like that. But it's just beautiful and has an amazing metaphor, and it's such a good book. Like, seriously, if you haven't picked this book up, why? You need to, just do it. for yourself, do it for Patrick Ness. It's a brilliant book. Yeah, this is based on an idea by Siobhan Dowd, I think, Siobhan Dowd, who died before completing the book, so Patrick Ness finished it for her. And yeah, this was a 5 out of 5 when I reviewed it. And the last book on my list, I couldn't miss this one out, is Half Bad by Sally Green. Absolutely amazing, about a boy called... I keep forgetting names. Nathan, that's it. The boy's called Nathan, and he's half bad, so he's half white witch, half black witch. And yeah, and he doesn't know whether he is going to be deemed fully bad or fully good. But in order to do that, he needs to go and find his dad and receive 3 gifts before his 17th birthday. But yeah, this is a brilliant book as well. This was a 4, I think, out of 5. And the cover for the next one is green, half wild, and it looks amazing. And I really want it. Yes. So there you go. Those are all the books on my best of 2014 list. Let me know if you agree with my decisions. And tell me if there's any books there that I liked that you didn't, or any books that you think I might have missed out. Yeah, and that is it from me today. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you wish, you may hit the subscribe button, and I will leave a link to my toastpop.com page where I review books. Yes, so you can find reviews, I think, for most of those on there. So yes, thank you for watching. Have a good Christmas. I'll see you before Christmas, but have a good Christmas anyway. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye.